Sup Tankers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks, and today I have someone special with me. What is your name?
My name is Bob.
Can you explain to everyone, Bob, if you know anything about World of Tanks?
I know very little. I know tank icons and what they mean.
Okay, since you know what tanks are what are those diamond looking things on the mini-map?
I think these would be light tanks.
Right, and then what would be the triangle looking things?
That would be tank destroyers.
Exactly, Bob. And what is the job of a light tank?
Their job is to spot the enemies so that tank destroyers can shoot them.
Exactly, Bob. So why weren't any light tanks spotting for me when I was sitting in position H7?
I don't think I know that much about the game, Space. I wouldn't know, to be honest. I'd assume it was because they were not interested.
Correct again, Bobby. If tank destroyers set up, especially tank destroyers with big guns, if they set up in a position close to an open field, they need spots. They cannot always spot for themselves, so they would need a light tank to spot the targets for them. And in this situation, when I set up in H7, I think it was, there was no light tank in the field spotting for me. So what did I resort to doing, Bobby?
You've chosen to go and fight heavy tanks, which is not good for you because you don't have any armor to block any rounds.
Exactly, Bobby. So I don't have any armor, yet I'm fighting heavy tanks in a heavy corridor. And unfortunately, in today's World of Tanks, this is what happens. Players are forced to do things that they're not supposed to do. And that's exactly what you see me doing here. Is that a smart idea?
Not really, Space. That's really not a great idea. To be honest, I'm not sure why you're doing this, Space.
Well, I don't know why I'm doing this either, but I have no other choice. And basically what I have to count on over here is I have to count on the heavy tanks shooting and then me trying to fire in between their shells. So that's the only way I can probably trade in this situation and potentially cause some damage. Like we did right here.
Great shot, Space. Looks like you set him on fire and sent him back to garage early.
Well, not sure if it was a good job or stupidity, but we'll take it. Regardless. Yeah, so what's the lesson learned here, Bobby?
Experienced players are able to do things with tanks that maybe new players are not able to do, I reckon.
Well, not exactly what I had in mind, but I'll give that one to you. I think you got a point there. But let's keep moving here. So, I don't know how this happened, but we were able to pretty much clean up this flank, kill two heavy tanks, and Terran that was with them got scared and ran off. So what are we doing here, Bobby?
We are going after the Terran that escaped.
Yes, we are, and we put a shell into him, but what should our light tanks be doing now?
I think they should be trying to help you push or win the flank at the moment. I'm not sure what they are doing in the back there, maybe trying to engage each other.
Exactly, Bobby. I think nowadays players just don't realize the situation on the field and they don't know how to respond properly to this situation. I guess they're seeing Taran all alone on the flank with no armor, and they're thinking that the Taran is gonna be able to win the flank and carry the entire game, but that is not the case because, as you can see here, we miss shots sometimes, and when we do, we are very pissed off that we missed a shot because we could have died over here in this situation. But do not despair, we're gonna take out this light tank, and all of a sudden our friendly light tank decided to help us, which is great. But what would we want him to do here right now?
We would want him maybe to help you push the flank here and distract whoever is lurking around the corner.
Correctamundo. And since I'm the last one here, pretty much playing ahead with 87 HP, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna drop and try to snipe again. Maybe light tanks are gonna catch a clue that this is something that they should be doing. Just spotting maybe would be helpful. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna come back to the position we were in early in the game to see if we can now snipe because we have no HP. Is that a good thing to do, Bobby?
Yes, Space, that is a very intelligent thing to do because you don't have any hit points left. That means you cannot take any damage and lose your tank. The team can still use your gun and your damage potential, so yes, I do think you're doing the right thing over here.
That is right, Bob. That's exactly what I'm doing. And we're gonna set up over here. We're gonna knock that tree down and see if we can shoot anybody else that the light tanks can spot. But wait a minute, Bob. What is happening again? We have no targets.
That is because our friendly light tank that was in the middle decided to fall back beyond the front line, all the way behind our friendly tanks. Maybe he's scared.
Yeah, Bob. And this is the problem in World of Tanks today. Light tanks like to hide behind friendlies instead of going ahead of friendlies and spotting targets. But I feel like I'm repeating myself here again constantly. So what should we do now? Should we go and spot for them?
Absolutely not, Space. You have no hit points left. You should not be going out front at all, unless you're sick of this battle and you'd like to go back to garage.
I would agree, Bobby. So we have no targets, we have no impact in the game right now. So what we're gonna do instead, we're gonna try to follow that light tank, and hopefully he'll decide to go in the middle of the map so that we can sit back here and snipe. But wait a minute, what do you think he's doing, Bobby?
Looks like he's going around the map and into the closed corridor instead of driving through the middle and scouting. I see your frustration now, Space.
Bingo, Bobby. That's what he's doing, unfortunately. And I think I'm gonna have to follow him because maybe eventually he'll decide to go on the field and then maybe I'll have some targets. What do you think, Bobby?
Looks like you've got your thinking cap on, Space. If you go on top of the ridgeline here, maybe you'll find some targets.
Good call, Bobby. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
If you set up on top of the ridgeline over here, you will have vision across the entire field. Therefore, you might be able to find some damaging shots into whoever the light tank is spotting.
Yeah, Bobby, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. We're gonna set up over here and hopefully the reds are gonna spill in the middle of the map. And we're gonna try to be... Well, I was thinking about trying to be patient there, but our light tank keeps going, so... Wait a minute. Should we keep going there? Maybe not. So we'll come back to where we were because I think that's probably the best spot for us right now, and there's some cover here. So let's wait for the light tank to spot, and then we're gonna put some huge damage into these guys that are going in the middle, and I'm sure eventually they will, right? And as you noticed, Bobby, we were winning this game, and all of a sudden, what happened here?
Well, Space, we are losing this battle right now, and it's quite possible that you won't be able to bring it back.
Yeah, Bobby, that's unfortunate. In today's World of Tanks, looks like players like to commit suicide, and we can't really help them doing that. So we're gonna try to stay alive as long as possible and put whatever damaging shots we can. We still have a, big alpha here. We're able to win this game if we are smart, as long as we don't get spotted by any of these guys, right? Our light tank decided to go deep over there. He started spotting, but now he's dropping. So we're gonna just set up here in the middle and we're gonna try to see if anyone comes out in the open so we can shoot him, right? Do you think that's the right thing to do, Bobby?
Yes, Space, that is a fantastic position. I think you will have shots over here.
There we go, we have a customer, we put a shell into him, and now we're gonna run off. Unfortunately, this game is turning for the worse, so you know what I'm gonna do, Bobby? I'm just gonna go towards the 1-2 line, probably gonna run away, and if I'm not spotted, if I can get away to this side of the map, then maybe our light tank will be smart enough to pull them away from us so that we can have shots in the field, right? Wouldn't that be a smart idea?
Yes, Space, that is a splendid idea. The only problem I see with it is that the light tank is actually turning around and driving towards you.
Oh, schnapps, you're right, Bobby. The guy is turning around and going towards me. Damn, he betrayed my position. And what can I do now, Bobby?
I think you're fucked, Space. You can't do anything. Just say adios to your friends and I'll see you back in the garage.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's what's gonna happen. Light tank is dead, and now we're just gonna try to get additional shadow damage and pretty much call it a game. But what's the lesson learned here, Bobby?
Well, I have 3 lessons learned, Space. Lesson 1. If there is a big gun sitting on top of a ridgeline or hill ready to snipe, take your light tank into area where you can scout for him. Lesson 2. If friendlies are pushing a flank and you're not scouting in your light tank, try to help them win that flank. Lesson 3. If light tank and a TD are the only tanks remaining in the game, try to bait the enemy tanks away from the TD and into an open field so that he can use the big alpha and potentially bring the game back.
Excellent, Bobby. You are an excellent student. You explained it perfectly to my audience, and I appreciate you for that. That's it for now. See you in the next video, Bobby.
Cheerio, chaps.
Okay, until next time. Space Bandit, checking out.